During the ascension on
Isra al-Mi'raj,
right? Is he supposed to have been ascended alive, or did he ascend? Is that where he died?
Excellent question. What's called Isra al-Mi'raj, when the Prophet went from Mecca first to Jerusalem to Quds, and then not on the rock, but the rock
sits now. Isn't that where the Dome of the Rock sits now?
So the Dome of the Rock is where the place was, but it was not, the rock didn't float, for example, right?
From it.
From it, exactly. This is a physical journey, and it's a journey while he was alive. And that's why it's miraculous, right? At that time, it would have been a very difficult idea for people to believe. In our time, we're kind of getting an understanding, right? If we look at now the internet, right? You click a button and your email goes from here to China in a split second. Now this is just human technology developing. Imagine the power of our Creator.
Would it have been considered a miracle?
It was a miracle, no doubt, but
no, today's technology would be considered miracles.
It would have been, exactly.
So he ascended alive into the realm of heaven?
So it went to the first sky. In Islam we have sab'a samawat, the 7 skies. And the Qur'an tells us, وَزَيَّنُوا الْمَصَابِيحِ وَزَيَّنُوا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحِ. What does that mean? We beautified the sky, the first sky, with lamps. So that means stars, moons, galaxies. This is all the first sky. Right, physical lights, excellent. The next sky is above that. And then there's an above that, which don't have these. And that's what science tells us as well. That past the universe as we know it, there is blank emptiness, right?
The more physics learns, the more the scripture tends to be correct.
Very interesting, right? So the Prophet went through all 7 above them to a place called Sidratul Muntaha, the end, where others couldn't go. Even the Prophet went with Gabriel. Gabriel couldn't go past that. And then past that, he spoke to our Creator, Allah, and Allah gave him certain commandments, and then he came back. And this was something that today we can grasp easier than that time because of travel. We've been to the moon. I mean, we're trying to go to Mars and all that kind of stuff. And this is just human technology. Imagine the Creator of humans and what he can do.
I was always wondering if he never returned from. Did he return from there?
Yeah, he did. He did. Okay. Yeah, same night.
So did he physically die?
Not then, but later on. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I thought that was his ascension, like Jesus' ascension.
Yeah, Jesus ascended without being physically killed, and he will come back. But the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ascended, came back the same night. They said that in some of the narrations, the bed was still warm, right? So that means it was as quick as the Creator can, and that's Allah can do all things. So at that time, when he came back, he told the people, and this is a very early time in Mecca. So years after that, they were still, and he even gave them news of a caravan of the Quraysh, of the people of Mecca that was coming, that he could not have known. And that's why many people became Muslim at that time, seeing that he gave them information that he physically could not have known. He came back and then he lived, and then he had.
He wrote the Qur'an after that.
He never wrote the Qur'an. He couldn't read or write, the Prophet Muhammad. But the Qur'an was revealed to him, and he would recite it, and the companions would write it down and memorize it. And that continued to go on until he was about 63 years of age, and then he.
Similar to the Christian tradition, where it wasn't written down at the time, it was written down about 60 years.
Well, not exactly. You are right about the Christian tradition, about 60, 70 to 100 years, Matthew, John, Luke, all of those. But in the Islamic tradition, it was written down in the presence of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and it was compiled as a book in that first generation by Abu Bakr, who was the first, and about a year later from the death of the Prophet, it was already a standardized book. And a few years later after that, Uthman, same generation, same companions, sent manuscripts out to the Ummah, and we still have those. And unlike Christianity, in Qur'an was memorized letter by letter, word by word, by many of the companions during the presence of the Prophet. So there was never a disagreement because it was memorized.